Today we're doing fish tacos. Now, most of the time when we talk about fish tacos, we don't use fish sticks, but that is in fact what I'm going to do today to show you a little bit of a shortcut. So keep in mind that if you have the objection to the fish stick, you could also go out and grill your own fish and approach it that way. But this is a shortcut. It's also a way that kids tend to like it. So if you've got kids in the family, they may be more accepting if you do it this way. So I've got a cup of finely shredded cabbage. And I did do very finely shredded. In fact, I did it so well that this is how you buy it at the market in a bag. So that's a shortcut that you can do if either you don't have any in your own garden or it's just not the right season. I also have some thin slices of red onion. Now this looks like to me when I first put it in here that it's a lot of red onion. It also looks like a lot of cabbage, but we're going to have it collapse a little bit. I'm going to add about a pinch of salt is all it takes here. I've added kosher salt to it. And about a half a teaspoon of fresh lime juice. And here I really, again, would encourage the fresh lime juice because it just gives it a much better flavor. Then we're going to let this sit for a little while, maybe about 30 minutes. You do this first and you'll find that it collapses down on itself because of the acid and the salt that you've put in there. So I'm just going to let that sit. Ours probably won't collapse as much as I'd like, but we'll let it have a little bit of time. The next phase that I'm going to do is to put together a sauce. And so what I have here is a third of a cup, double check, yep, a third of a cup of yogurt. And to that I'm going to add an eighth of a teaspoon of cumin and a third of a teaspoon of chili powder and an eighth of a teaspoon of cumin. Here you could kind of play with it. Again, another pinch of salt. We're going to stir those together. And this is going to add a lot of the flavor because if you're using fish sticks, you're not going to have put a lot of chili powder on the fish sticks. So you're going to be depending on those chili flavors to come in from other sources. And that may be a little bit of the reason why kids like it when it's made this way because it's not quite as spicy. Again, you could add more chili powder if you wanted to perk it up more. I've also added 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro and just stir those together, set it aside and let it wait for you. Now while you're doing that, you're going to go ahead and bake the fish sticks however the package tells you to do it. So we're going to go on to the next step because ours are already done. Usually those are going to take you around 20 to 30 minutes depending on the brand. These are actually tilapia fish sticks because I didn't want to get the minced kind. So you can look through the freezer section in the market and see what they have. But remember, you could also start with catfish fillets or tilapia fillets from the market and either grill them, pan fry them, or pan bake them. So you have a lot of choices there. The next step is we need to heat the tortillas. So I have tortillas that are already in the microwave, and what I did for these was to wrap them in some damp paper towels. We'll put them in there for about 30 to 45 seconds until they get so that when you fold them, they're not apt to crack. You could also, however, if you had a couple of ovens, so because your other oven is in theory busy with the fish sticks, set the oven about 350, wrap them in aluminum foil, and put them in the oven until they get warm. Again, you want them warm through, but you don't want to put them in a pan to heat them because most likely you're going to get them too far heated and cooked, and they're actually going to crack when you fold them in half. So I'm going to go ahead and get these done, and then we'll come over and finish up. Once the tortillas are hot, you're ready to start assembling. Now you notice these are nice and soft as opposed to crunchy things, but they're also nice and warm. Now the trick to this one that we've found practicing here is that using 2 of the tortillas is a better choice. Otherwise things tend to get soggy and break through, and then you have a bit of a mess and you no longer have a taco. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently than we've tried it in the past because my experience is that this acts a little bit like glue and holds everything in the middle. So we're going to spread about 1/4 of the sauce that we made, and then we need about 1/4 of a cup of our salad mixture with the cabbage and the onion. And we're going to spread that on top of that, and then we're going to put 2 of the fish sticks on the top of that. And then this basically becomes your tortilla and your taco is ready to go. So people, once these are on the table, anybody can do their own. They're very tasty. If you find you don't need the second tortilla and you just don't like it, sometimes people think it's a little bit dry with both of them, you can try it without. Worst case scenario, if your tortilla breaks in the middle, you eat your taco with a fork off the plate. But I think that you're going to love these. I think the kids in your family are going to love them as well. I hope you'll try them. They're Baja fish tacos. For Oklahoma Gardening, I'm Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.